As promised, this is part 2 of my interview with some patients of mine. And I'm going to have very special guests, both Chris and Mike, on this podcast today. And they're going to talk to you about their experience with CAD/CAM technology in my office versus not having that experience with the office they came from. And I hope that you guys have a good takeaway from this as to the importance of keeping up with technology and listening to the patient experience in your office. These are the kinds of things that are so invaluable to hear and listen to. Like I said before, you guys, I'm not perfect. All my colleagues know here locally I'm not a perfect person, but I try hard. I'm just like you. I have strengths and weaknesses, but man, does CAD/CAM technology help us improve the delivery of dentistry each and every day. I've told you before on CAD/CAM, when you scan it and you see maybe your margin wasn't the best it could have been on one little, distal buccal line angle, you can go into that CAD/CAM technology, delete that part of the screen you scanned, and go back in and just refine that margin and make it as perfect as you possibly can. CAD/CAM technology just makes us better dentists, and I want you to listen to the patients and their experience. This has been fun for me. I've told you before, like last time, maybe we should talk to our patients more on what they think about our delivery of dentistry because, it can be a very positive experience, and it's good to hear that you and your team are making people happy. And that's what we try to do. We begin our podcast right there.
Welcome, all you wonderful dental podcast listeners, to the My Practice, My Business Dental Podcast Show, where we help dentists profit and thrive with excerpts from the clinical business of dentistry training here in My Practice, My Business. We'll be addressing and answering questions with current trends dentists and their teams face each and every day in their pursuit of this wonderful career we call dentistry. And now, the host of our show, the clinical director at My Practice, My Business, Dr. Rob Thorup.
Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. We're just happy you're here because we have another exciting one. Earlier this a few weeks ago, we interviewed one of my patients, Mike, and I said, hey, I need to get you and your wife back to tell the audience about your experience with CAD/CAM technology and everything else that took place. And so on the line here, we have Chris and her husband, Mike, back again. You guys say hi to everybody.
Aloha, everyone.
Aloha. Like we told you guys, I took the team out to Maui, and we ran into them, and they treated us to dinner, and it was an awesome experience. How many of us actually take patients out or we get together with our patients and ask them to be honest and truthful about their experiences in our office because, hey, sometimes that's a truth we don't want to hear. And if it is, then we want to course correct. And if it's a good experience, we want to know what that's about and to even improve it even more. So without further ado, I want Chris, we'll start with you. And I'd like you to talk about your experience with how you came about our office, why you did, and then what your experience was with the first time we did a crown on you in the office. Does that sound about right? Sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go for it. It's all yours.
Okay. So, how we found you is, I think, we were to dinner with friends one night and kind of, for some reason, crowns came up at the dinner table. And
wait a minute.
Anyway,
Wait, Chris, I will do some interjecting. All you docs out there, I feel bad that you have such an impact on your patients that they actually talk about dentistry at dinner. I don't know if that's a normal thing or anyway, I don't know how to feel about that, but I'm sorry you guys didn't have more fun and exciting things to talk about.
Well,
go ahead.
It's kind of one of those things when you get together with friends and, kind of what have you been up to, what's been going on, and I kind of had expressed I said, well, I just got a crown, and I kind of told them about my experience about my crown, and I said, I don't think I'll ever get another crown, ever. It was just, and our friend Rich said, my dentist, I've had crowns done. I go in and I get them done the same day. And I just was blown away. It's like, no way. What? When I had mine done, you have to, get it drilled. You get numbed, and then you get drilled, and then you wait, and then you come back, and then you get numbed again, and then you get drilled again for fittings. And it was unheard of.
I'm sorry, Chris, that is such a great non-dental person's explanation as to what the experience is in the dental office. That was perfect. I'm just laughing. And everybody, all my audience knows these interviews are very non-scripted. Obviously, keep going. This is so fun. Okay, keep telling your story.
Oh, so anyway, and I thought he was nuts. I said, I have never heard of that. And sure enough, he said, you've got to go see my doctor. And he said, you're going to love this guy because he loves Hawaii. And I mean, right there, you had me at Hawaii, so what? So
of course.
I knew anyone that, loved Hawaii like we did. I thought, I'm in, I got to go see this guy. So that's kind of our introduction to you and why, why and how we were interested in switching over and getting this procedure, because like I say, I had written crowns off. I thought I'm never going through that again. So Anyway, that's what got us in the door.
And so then you came in, and we had to do a crown on you, as I recall.
Yeah. And I have to say, Rob, like I say, it was so, I was mad at I was kind of irritated with myself that I didn't know about this, and how I wish I would have known about you earlier. Cause like I say, my procedure, and, we had a dentist that, Mike and we're actually, having our 50th wedding anniversary this year. So we've been around for a while, and, we've stuck with the same dentist. We got married and found a dentist, and, we just kind of,
sure.
We're Mike had dental insurance. So, we got our, checkups and our teeth cleaned every 6 months. So, we never had any, problems, so it was just until recently, when we, crowns and stuff started coming into the picture that we really discovered how important it is to have someone that's really up to date and has the new technology. We didn't know. We didn't know about the new technology and the procedures that you now do. And I'm just telling you, I wish. Yeah. So it's amazing. So
it costs a lot of money. And for a practice to invest in that type of technology, either you're staying up to date with things, or you just let things pass by. And you've got to love what you do. And sometimes, right. Some docs just don't love what they do, and they don't keep up with the technology and the change and learning. It's not easy, but it's fun. And it's fun to be able to deliver that kind of dentistry to patients, especially when talking with you and Mike. Honestly, Chris, I loved it. That I feed off that. That's fuel for me to hear that you love how you received oral health care in our office. That just gets me, it's that motivating driving factor that causes me to want to continue to be on the cutting edge of technology and doing the best that we possibly can for our patients. So thank you for sharing that. How does that crown feel in your mouth?
Yeah, you know what? It's fabulous. And in fact, I almost feel guilty. I wish I needed more crowns. It is a pleasure to be, and your energy and your exuberance and enthusiasm, and it really carries through to your patients. When you go in and it's so exciting to see someone like you kind of explain things, and that enthusiasm, I think, transfer.
And take the time. Yeah. Chris, sorry, go ahead and finish, because you just reminded me of something that we discussed at dinner that night.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I just think it's, it just makes, typically I don't want to go to the dentist. This is horrible, and to just, hey, I'm going to go see Rob, and he's going to take care of me. And
we have some patients, and their kids are like, Mom, when am I going to the dentist? When do we get to go again? And she's like, my kids are weird, or they really enjoy coming here, or both. I'm not sure which one it is. Hey, I asked, what's really interesting is we really, like you said, explaining things, and then we send you home with documents that explain why the treatment is needed. It talks about procedure. And I asked you that night, what you thought about those documents, and then you started laughing, and you told me what you do with the kit folders we give you with the documents inside. Tell the docs here that are listening what you do with those documents we give you guys out of My Dental Docs.
Oh, well, we just at home, we have our own help folders, Mike and a Chris folder, and it just goes in the file. So if I ever need to, just kind of at our fingertips, if we ever, need to get in there and I have to be honest, Rob, I don't read all the fine print, but it's just knowing that I have it in hand, and I can file it away, and in case I need to refer, for any reason or whatever.
Sure.
It's there. So it's and it's so professional. I mean, it's just, it's almost, when I get it, there's no way I can throw it away, because it's done so nice. It's like, I would feel guilty throwing it away. So I feel like, I've got to file this, because this is, you've done such a good job at documenting, and
it's a work of art.
Yeah.
That is amazing to hear, because one of the offices in our building, they still use pamphlets from the ADA, and we find them out by the garbage can all the time. And it's like a pamphlet you really don't care to file away, but a document that's got your name on it, branded to the treatment that you need, it's a bit of a difference, right?
Yeah, and exactly. And that, you hit the nail on the head. It's mine. It has my name. This is what you did for me. It wasn't, this, a 5-page case scenario on what could happen.
And if I could interject, Rob, one of the things I like about it, being kind of technical, I really like the detail breakdown. In the past, I had no idea this is what a procedure costs, and there was no breakdown. I had no idea what it entailed, and it was a little bit overwhelming, but it also is incredibly informative. And it was good for me to have that breakdown, because I was able to ask you what all this was for, and I got great explanations. So I personally like the breakdown in your documentation that you have. It's pretty. It's informative to me.
That's fun. When we used and Chris, thank you so much. Let's shift to Mike here for a minute now, because he wanted to talk about procedure. He had too. When Mike had a procedure and where he needed certain products, we did a ridge preservation, and like one of the documents talked about the type of bone that we were using, synthetic bone that we placed in the socket site. I mean, it's like, that was informative to you, wasn't it? Wasn't it important for you to know the product and stuff that you're...
Well, you gave me all the options, and I made the decision. I like that.
So we had a choice. Mike had a choice between doing an implant over a 6 to 10 month course, or to have tooth removed, bone placed, and a 3-unit bridge placed in there, which was done. How many days did it take us to do that, Mike?
I don't remember. It didn't seem to take very long, maybe a couple of days.
Wait, but the extraction and the bridge
No, you did that all happened at one time.
In one time.
Yeah, I mean, it was great.
And that's the beauty of CAD CAM technology. And that's what Chris was talking about earlier, how she was able to come in and one appointment, one and done. But describe that experience, because I want everybody to know that the very first CAD CAM 3-unit bridge that I ever did was on this gentleman that I'm talking with on the podcast right now. So we both had a first. So tell them how that went.
And I was told that I was a little bit of a guinea pig on this thing, so you're very meticulous about the whole thing and color matching and everything.
We love to be fully transparent with our patients.
Right.
So,
a little bit apprehensive, obviously, because I've never had a bridge done before.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me, Mike. I thought you were talking about I was apprehensive. No, keep going. Yeah, keep going.
So, and I have to say, before I get into the bridge, I had another tooth done, and it was the first one that Rob, you did in my mouth that used the CAD system. And that feels like a natural tooth to me. It is incredible how it sits. It flushes into the gum. I mean, it really, honest to God, feels like a tooth that grew in my mouth. It's just incredible. I can feel ridges on all the other ones that I had put in from the other dentist. And I wish I had you from the beginning, so all my crowns were nicely fitting. It
feels smooth and it feels like it belongs. And Chris was mentioning that also, how it just feels like it belongs, and how it just, the whole experience was not uncomfortable, right?
Oh my gosh. Like I said, I was a little apprehensive to have the procedure done just because, you're going to extract the tooth and prep 2 side teeth for crown. And as you know, and most of your doctors out there probably don't know this, but I never have Novocaine, or I never get deadened when I have a crown prepped. So never. Except this time, because you're going to extract it too, so I opted to have it deadened.
So we and just so you docs know, it had to do a surgical extraction. I had to split the tooth, and the tooth had some problems with it that obviously it couldn't just come out in one piece. So it was a surgical removal and ridge preservation, collagen, suture, all in the same appointment with this scan from our CEREC, from our Prime scan. And then, so Mike said, yeah, I want to be numb for this. I'm like, you sure? Come on. A real man wouldn't have to be numb. You sure you want to do that?
I guess that's my limit of being a real man. Having a tooth extracted without
me, I get a cleaning mic and I have to, be numbed. I'm like, here I am the dentist. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad, but it's close. But, then after the procedure, a couple of fun things that Mike brought up. After the procedure, like that night, how did you feel?
Well, I always expect painkillers. I always expect after that kind of a procedure. I've only had 2 teeth removed from my mouth at this point, but it just can't. Well, I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and it can be kind of painful, and throbbing and whatnot. But Dr. Rob said, well, we're going to put in the what is it?
Steroid.
Steroid. Mm-hmm. And so what he did was, I think before the suture, after he actually injected a steroid. I will tell you, I had zero pain. I mean, it was the most incredible healing process I've been through in a procedure on my mouth ever. It was wonderful.
That's amazing. And again, one of the things we teach in our clinical business at dentistry training at My Practice, My Business is that very fact. And then the bridge, we cemented that bridge in and messed around with the shades and the colors. And can you still smile and you're happy with it?
Oh my God, it feels so perfect. I mean, it's a wonderful bridge. I mean, I still have to floss underneath it periodically, but it's easy to, and it looks incredibly natural. It feels a little natural. I mean, it takes a while because my teeth aren't floating. There's 3 are attached together, but now I'm totally used to it and everything's just fine. And I couldn't be happier with it.
Isn't that amazing? It's kind of funny because I had another patient in the other day, and we did that procedure on, and he came back for a 6-month cleaning, and he said, I got to tell you, he said, I am so much more happier with my bridge than my golfing buddies are with implants. He's got two golfing buddies that force him to have implants, and they get food stuck in there all the time. And he says, my bridge hardly ever gets food stuck in it. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting thing, because oftentimes we're putting great big molars on top of what we call toothpicks because there's just not enough bone to be able to support a wide body implant. So, and then it's like, if you've got teeth that are already compromised on each side of that extraction site, it's the moral and ethical thing to offer your patients choice. That's what our medical malpractice insurance carrier makes us do. you have to explain the implant option and the 3-unit bridge option because that's the right thing to do, and let the patient make that choice. Isn't that what we did with you too, Mike? That very
Absolutely. And, I'm grateful for that because I am the kind of guy that likes to make the decision, but I need to be informed before I do.
That's fantastic. Mike, Chris, is there anything with the CAD CAM technology that you experienced? Is there any other thing that we're missing that we talked about that night? Anything else you'd like to share with our docs on this?
The only thing I would like to share is I've never, ever been involved with it, having a crown put in my mouth using a CAD system. And I was fascinated by it because I'm kind of a technology guy. And you were kind enough to walk me through the whole process of after you scanned my mouth, actually letting me see the CAD and how you created the shaped the tooth a little bit to make sure it would fit from side to side. It was really nice. I enjoyed that experience. It
is fun when patients want to watch. Not all patients want to, but when they want to, it's just fun to show them how we're designing it, what the preps look like. And then my favorite is when it came out of the Surefire oven and it was glowing. Did you think that was kind of the coolest thing you've ever seen? Like red hot. A couple thousand degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, that is like amazing to me when it comes out of there. It's so cool. Well, actually it's hot, but it's a cool experience.
Well, I'm glad it didn't go in my mouth at that temperature.
No. And oftentimes when the team is, they sit there and they have to kind of touch the restoration to see if it's cool enough to, start putting the glaze and the stains on them. And sometimes we get a little excited and we touch it, we get burned a little bit because we're so excited to make these. It's just fun and fun to match it to our patients. And it's just, I don't know, it just is exciting. And I really appreciate that you guys enjoy that technology. I appreciate that you recognize that we are absolutely trying to provide the best in technology and care that we possibly can provide to our patients. And I appreciate
that. Well, you are and you do. And I have to tell you that if I moved out of state, I would never go to a dentist that didn't offer the same kinds of things that you offered. Having that procedure done in one day is just absolutely incredible.
That's a powerful statement, and I hope all of you listening just heard what Mike just said right there. Chris, Mike, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for allowing me to pull you away from watching the Wells breach out there off the coast of Maui.
And our favorite pastime.
I really appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you, Rob.
Yeah, we appreciate you. We've had a great relationship with you, and your office is fabulous. Your dental assistants are just the best. I mean, it's just it's a wonderful environment.
It's a great team. You put you're a team effort.
Thank you so much, you guys. Hey, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
Okay,
see you. Bye.
Thank you for being with us today. To learn more about our guaranteed, no-risk clinical business of dentistry training that is changing dental practices for the better, just go to our website, mypracticemybusiness.com, and surf our pages for additional information about our company. When you're ready, give us a call and get scheduled for the best training you'll ever experience. Those are the words of our clients, not us. Our mission statement is simple. We increase the net revenue of dental practices with our key methods, tools, and training utilizing everyday need-based dentistry. We believe that there's never been a more important time than now for dentists to know what we know, and that is 1, how to compete with retail America. 2, how to be profitable with dental procedures, especially those performed on patients with dental insurance plans. 3, how to place oral health care at the forefront of patients' discretionary spending. And 4, how to ethically, legally, and morally be paid fairly for the services you provide. All of us here at My Practice, My Business know exactly how to help you implement each of those talking points and more with our key methods, knowledge, and training. Our clients' testimonies say it all. If you enjoy our podcast, please leave us a 5-star review. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you soon at the My Practice, My Business training facility located in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us. Thank you again and have a fantastic day.